Hey everyone, it's Ember, and today we are answering the long-asked questions. How old are the main six and how old are the CMCs? I know there have been many videos on this from other creators, but I wanted to make my own because I've been working on this theory since the series ended. I haven't watched any other videos on this topic, so if I bring something up in this video that you've seen in another video, I am not copying anyone, it is merely a coincidence. Let's get started. I was able to put a lot of things together through analyzing the Apple family and flashbacks from whenever the Apple siblings were younger. I'm going to bring these up a lot, especially the flashback from the episode Going to Seed in Season 9, so be prepared for that. Anyway, in the episode For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils in Season 4, we see that characters get big eyes pretty early on because it shows Sweetie Belle's 5th birthday and she has them then. We also know that the Cake Twins still don't have big eyes after they're potty trained, as they still have full eyes when they're not wearing diapers anymore. This puts them at 1 to 2 years old in pony years, or 3 to 4 in human years, which is normal diaperless time. This is confirmed as we know at least a year has passed since they were born because of the episodes Hearts and Hooves Day, Hearthbreakers, and Scaremaster. Anyway, that would put Apple Bloom at 2 to 3 years old during this transition frame. We'll say 2. AJ doesn't have her cutie mark yet in the flashback, and she mentioned to Apple Bloom in Call of the Cutie that she was basically a late bloomer.
You know, I was the last pony in my class to get a cutie mark, and I couldn't be prouder of it. I knew my future was to run Sweet Apple Acres, and these bright shiny apples sealed the deal. Come to think of it, Granny Smith was the last one in her class, too. Same with Big Macintosh.
I really don't see how that's supposed to make me feel better. It probably means that being the last one in your class to get a cutie mark runs in the family.
So if she doesn't have her cutie mark in the flashback and Big Mac is already wearing his yoke in the Cutie Mark Chronicles, where I think is probably a year or two later than this flashback, AJ is probably 14 in the flashback of this episode. Big Mac also has a similar body type to Fluttershy during this time. And keeping in mind that all of the main six got their cutie marks at the same time, also seen in Cutie Mark Chronicles, and that we know from Griffin the Brush-Off that Fluttershy is a year older than Pinkie.
Don't worry your pretty little head about mean old Gilda. Your Auntie Pinkie Pie's got it all taken care of. I'm a year older than you.
And considering her body type is different than all of the other ponies as fillies, she's probably a year older than everyone else as well. Anyway, as I was saying, Big Mac has a similar body type, so he's probably a year older than AJ. So all this info adds up to Apple Bloom being 2, Applejack being 14, and Big Macintosh being 15, at least in the flashback, which would make Apple Bloom 15 since we know a year has passed since she got her cutie mark at this point because of the holiday episodes between Crusaders of the Lost Ark and Going to Seed. This makes Applejack 27 and Big Macintosh 28 by the time Going to Seed comes out. That means that before the time skip at the end of the last season, everyone in the main six is 27, aside from Fluttershy, who is 28. The CMCs are all around the same age, but I think that from oldest to youngest, it's Apple Bloom, then Sweetie Belle, then Scootaloo. I'm basing this off of maturity levels as the show goes on. I believe that when the CMCs first met, however, that they were all 11 or 12 because, again, maturity levels and also various holidays. Now for after the time skip. All of the student six are fully grown at this point, which means they have to be at least a few years older than they were before the time skip, but we'll get into that in a minute. What's more important is Pinkie and Cheese's child. We know that Lil Cheese is at least 12 because, thinking of cutie marks like puberty, the average age to get a cutie mark is 12 to 13. We'll say 13 since the majority of the fandom seems to believe that Lil Cheese is a boy and boys get the change a little later than girls do. If Lil Cheese was born soon after the Council of Friendship was founded at the end of the series, that would put the main six at 40, aside from Fluttershy, who would be 41. The CMCs would be 27 to 28. Like I said, I think Scoot's the youngest, so she would be 27, and Apple Bloom would be 28, with Sweetie Belle being somewhere in the middle. And if we assume the student six are a little older than the CMCs because of their body types and maturity levels, we can put them all at 16 to 17 before the time skip, and 29 to 30 after the time skip. Factoring in maturity levels, that would put Smolder, Gallus, and Silverstream at 29, and Yona, Sandbar, and Ocellus at 30, with Gallus probably being the youngest and Ocellus probably being the oldest. Lastly, the Cake Twins. After analyzing their behavior in the season 7 episode of Flurry of Emotions and not forgetting that they still don't have big eyes, they have to be 3 to 4 years old. We'll say 4, which would put them at 17 years old after the time skip. So, to recap, before the time skip, Twilight, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack are all 27, and Fluttershy is 28. Obviously, they weren't all born on the same day at the same time, so factoring in various details from the show and again maturity levels, the main 6 from youngest to oldest would be Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Applejack, Twilight, and then Fluttershy. The CMCs pre-time skip are 14 and 15, with Scootaloo being 14, Sweetie Belle being around 14 and a half, and Apple Bloom being 15. The student 6 are all 16 to 17 pre-time skip, and youngest to oldest would be Gallus, Silverstream, Smolder, all 16, then Yona, Sandbar, and Ocellus, all 17. Post-time skip, everyone in the main 6 is 40 besides Fluttershy, who is 41. Scootaloo is 27, Sweetie Belle is around 27 and a half, and Apple Bloom is 28. Gallus, Silverstream, and Smolder are 29, and Yona, Sandbar, and Ocellus are 30. Oh, and let's not forget about the Cake Twins, who are 4 years old pre-time skip and 17 years old post-time skip. Oh geez, that took forever. Alright. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and be sure to tune in for next video where we talk about how Applejack's parents really died. I love you all so much. Until next time, bye!